Why we set forth sadhana, pranayama, meditation, all this is, we don't need all that nonsense actually. I can just explode you just like that. But if I do that, your body, your mind, your system will not be ready for it. You'll act like this. If you're ready for it, if you prepare the body with the necessary sadhana, we can set fire to you and have an implosion.
You plant a mango tree, your enemy and his children may eat the mangoes. It's all right. We don't care who eats, just plant. Now the activity is process of dissolution. Otherwise, every activity is a way of imprisoning yourself. It is activity which is entangling people, unfortunately. So making use of grace, what should we do? Nothing to do. The less you do within yourself and the more you do outside of yourself, the more available you become to grace. So, you don't come to your guru just to listen to his words. It's not about the words.
It's not that grace is offered and withdrawn. Grace is always on. Sometimes you receive, sometimes you don't receive. You are not the beggar, the guru is the beggar. You understand? A guru means he's a despicable human being constantly waiting that somebody will receive him. Just a few people, just a few receive him. Rest, they talk many things. They keep telling you, I love you, I love you. But they sit like walls. It's quite a despicable human being, this guru is. You're not like that. You have a choice either to receive him or to throw him out. He's constantly waiting somebody will receive him. Not that it makes any difference for him whether you receive or you don't receive. But because it's like air, you know. It's like oxygen. It makes no difference for oxygen whether you inhale or you don't inhale. But still, you can stop inhalation. It may kill you, but you can still stop it and not allow the oxygen to enter you, isn't it? This is just like that. Always it's there. It's not that it's on and off. It's always there. It is just a question of how willing you are, when you're open, when you're not. So, if you want to be open all the time, I could put a hole in you that you can't close. Shall I? See, don't say yes to things that you don't know what it is about. If I put a hole in you, huh? You're not saying yes. Now, if I put a hole in you and let this thing pass through you all the time, nothing of you will be left, only I will be. Many people have become like that. Many people have become like that. Nothing of them is left anymore. Now they've started thinking like me, feeling like me, planning like me, doing things like me. I didn't hypnotize them, I didn't train them, nothing. But nothing of them is left. Because as you demolish the limited, nothing of you is bound to be left, isn't it? Yes? That's your intention too, but you don't allow it to happen. See, it's like this. Right now, let us say I'm chained to this… let's say this is a rock, I'm chained to this rock. If I'm chained to this rock, now if I call this rock my God, I am not going to break it, nor am I going to dissolve it, isn't it? Once I say this is precious, I am not going to dissolve it. Only if I see this as a bondage, I want to break it. Right now, everything that you call as myself is a certain limitation. Is it so? Is it so? But you've fallen in love with your limitations, you've enshrined your limitations. How will they go? If you see a limitation as limitation, only then it can go, isn't it? If there is dirt on your hands, if you see it as dirt, you can wash off your hands. If you see it as gold, can you wash off it? Wash off your hands? Will you? No. It's just like that. Your personality, your ideas, your beliefs, your opinions, if you just see all this as absolute nonsense, you'll want to wash it off. When you attach so much value to it, how will you wash it off? You will not wash it off, isn't it? This is like putting the anchor and going on rowing the boat. You put the anchor and row the boat and row the boat and row the boat. Morning becomes afternoon, afternoon becomes evening, evening becomes night, scenery is changing. So you can believe, I'm going somewhere, I'm going somewhere. I'm telling you, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere in your life. But again, summer becomes autumn, autumn becomes winter, winter becomes spring. Really you can believe I'm going somewhere because everything is changing. But you're not going anywhere. With anchor down, you are not going anywhere, isn't it? If you want to go somewhere, even before you row, first thing that you do is pull the anchor in. Then just the river will take you. Even if you don't row the boat, just the river will take you. So if you take away the anchor, boat will go. River going to the ocean will happen, boat going to the ocean also will happen, isn't it? This way or that way. If you row hard, you'll go a little faster. But without pulling the anchor, you are not going to go anywhere. What you call as myself is the anchor. What you call as myself is the anchor. Now you are unable to completely remove the anchor, at least you must make the anchor into your toy anchor, small one. In your own life, right now in your life, you are the hero, isn't it? You are the main role, isn't it? Yes or no? In your life, you are the main role, everybody else is side role. Now, sitting in the bus means you are side role, somebody else is the main role. You're just a passenger. Some driver is taking, he's the main role, isn't it? You're just a small role. If this you do, don't worry about spirituality. I will take care of your spirituality. You don't have to do anything. I will ask you even to stop your pranayam. That looks like a good incentive. That's a great incentive, isn't it? If you just become a small role in your own life, not in the world.
How does one do that?
Hmm?
How does one do that?
I think we're going round and round with the same thing. How do you do it is, you don't make yourself important. Your ideas, your opinions, your emotions, your thoughts are no more important. See, now if I say something, not possible. Why? Your ideas are very important for you, isn't it? What you call as myself is just a bundle of thoughts, emotions and opinions, isn't it so? So you work on this. Your thoughts, your emotions, your opinions, don't make them important. Can you do that?
In ordinary social life also we should be like that?
In everything, in your life. There's no social life and inner life, outer life, there's no such thing. There's just life. Don't go on fragmenting life. Your thoughts, your emotions, your opinions, don't make it important. You're on the bus. See, the explosive is within you. When you sit close to the fire, it may get lit up.
So you're the fire.
I am not setting fire to you. I am just here, I am always burning 100%. But your explosive However damp it is, if you sit close to the fire for too long, it'll explode. Why we set forth sadhana, pranayama, meditation, all this is, we don't need all that nonsense actually. I can just explode you just like that. But if I do that, your body, your mind, your system will not be ready for it. You'll act like this. If you're ready for it, if you prepare the body with the necessary sadhana, we can set fire to you and have an implosion, not an explosion. You know what's an implosion? It's very internal. Nothing is seen outside, but it's as powerful as any explosion. That would be better. If you explode like this, you can't live in the society. So, the reason why we've given you sadhana is, when you catch fire, an implosion happens, not an explosion, a tremendous change. But nobody need to know anything about it. If you put in the necessary sadhana, you can have a nuclear explosion, implosion inside, still absolutely nothing outside, nobody need to know. Your perfect balance.
This is the time of the year when Adiyogi's attention first fell upon the 7 celebrated disciples, now celebrated disciples. So we're in this month when an ascetic, a yogi who was completely uninvolved with what's around him, is beginning to get involved. Slowly the intention of sharing his experience is beginning to blossom in this month. From the last full moon day to the coming one, which is going to be referred to as the Guru Purnima. It is these 28 days that Shiva could not take his attention off. The Saptarishis who had done some simple preparatory steps for 84 long years without even a moment of attention from him. And now his attention upon his disciples, the first 7 ones, was undivided. So this month is seen as a month where even a completely heartless ascetic could not ignore, and he became compassionate. Somebody who had hardened himself in such a way that the world can never touch him, loosened up, became compassionate, and was compelled to become a teacher or a guru, for which he had no intention at all. So this month is seen as the best time to receive the grace of the Guru. It's a good time to be open to grace, because this is a time when even an ascetic who smeared himself with the ash of the dead, of many other things, one important thing is that he has made himself like he is dead to the world, that he is no more available to the world around him, the people around him. But even that yogi softened up and became compassionate. So this is a good time to seek grace. This is a good time to make yourself receptive to the process. This is a good time to earn that attention from the grace. What should I do? Is always the question. If you don't do anything of your own, that's the best way to be receptive. That you're less of yourself, that is the best way to be receptive. The sadhana is always structured like this so that it absorbs you into activity in such a way that in the daily process of living, you forget who you are, you forget what you are, you forget what your life is about, you're just absorbed into what's happening. That is the best way to receive grace. Do you know you even breathe better when you're not aware of who you are and what you are? You see how smoothly people are breathing when they're asleep. You watch their breath through the day, it is going through various turmoils. Everything that happens in your mind, the more limited you make yourself, you will see the more limited the breathing process becomes. When you sleep, that's how it should be happening all the time, but when you're awake, you are there, even in the way of the breath. So, just to simply like the tree standing here, it has to be here. Just standing here means it is not here doing nothing, it is doing everything that it has to do. But simply there, just like that. There's a beautiful expression in the Zen system of allowing human consciousness to grow. So when a disciple goes to a Zen master and asks, what should I do for my spiritual growth? Sweep the floor, chop the wood, cook the food. That's all. For that, why should I come here? I can do it at home. But there sweeping the floor to your own floor, you will not sweep next house floor if it's dirty. You will not. Chopping the wood for your own use. Cooking food just for yourself and who you consider as yours. You're using every activity to enhance who you are, instead of using every activity to dissolve who you are. This is all the difference between making our activity, making our karma either into your bondage or into your process of liberation. Either you're acquiring karma or your karma is becoming yoga. That's all it is. Either you're doing your activity to enhance yourself or are you doing your activity to dissolve yourself. So, just sweeping the floor, cooking food, planting a tree, not on your property, not for you and your children to sit under its shade, only you and your children to sit under its shade. Simply planting it, anybody may sit. Your enemy may go and enjoy it. It's okay. You plant a mango tree, your enemy and his children may eat the mangoes. It's all right. You don't care who eats, just plant. Now the activity is process of dissolution. Otherwise, every activity is a way of imprisoning yourself. It is activity which is entangling people, unfortunately. human ability to do things, unfortunately, is being used to imprison themselves. So this month is the month of grace. Grace is like manure for growth, that a human being can catapult himself to another dimension of existence, capability and possibility. So making use of grace, what should we do? Nothing to do. The less you do within yourself and the more you do outside of yourself, the more available you become to grace. Doing things outside would not be necessary if you can simply sit here and do nothing. But that's not possible, isn't it? Any kind of activity or situation should not become a limiting factor for one's ability to receive and absorb grace. If all you wanted is more and more words, you should have gone to a university. I'm sure they can speak much more than me, the professors in the university. Or you could read the Vedas, or even better, you could read the dictionary. Nothing like it. Everything is right there. Really, have you ever tried to read a dictionary from page 1 to the last page? Please try, it's very interesting. Everything is there. Really. So, you don't come to your guru just to listen to his words. It's not about the words.